Hey, superstars. His name's Aaron, and he still believes in you. He's always believed in you.
His name's Tommy, and he ain't no hollaback girl.
And you're listening to the SouperPod Saga.
Ain't no hollaback girl. Ain't no hollaback girl. Sing it, Tommy.
That's the rest of the podcast. It just, I don't remember the words.
Two times I've been
this
around
shit
that track.
Thought,
is
not
bananas.
gonna
It is
something like that because yes, it's all coming back to me now.
Okay. Cool.
But yeah, this is the SouperPod Saga. Sorry for that intro.
I'm not sorry. That was good. I like that.
And this is the podcast where Aaron and me we bring a different video game topic to the table to discuss it and until our voices give out and we can't physically talk anymore.
It's more or less an interrogation. Like we interrogate the
Mhm.
topic. Who sent you?
What do you mean? And we have a guest as well. His name is Adam. Hi, Adam.
Hello, my name is Adam Bucheri. I am an animator and game designer, and you may know me from the Halftone Takes podcast.
Yes. Tell us about the
Oh.
podcast. Tell us about. Oh, Aaron, are you surprised?
I just recorded an episode with the Super Bracket Bros. Friday night, and yeah, your co-host was there.
You recorded with Corey.
Corey, yeah. He was cool.
Oh,
as
how
hell.
delightful!
Wow, we're all friends.
That's cool. Okay.
That's so cool. I'm involved too.
I mean, you are, yeah.
Adam, tell us about that podcast. Tell us about what you do, what video games you like, all that stuff. Let the audience know everything about you.
Everything about me. Well, first of all, our show starts with us giving ourselves goofy little nicknames or introducing ourselves in a silly way. The fact that you roast each other is a fun twist on that I do like. So similar in that regard. Halftone Takes is loosely an interview show where we take turns asking each other questions about big topics. Not entirely unlike this, but with kind of a focus on the realities of creative work, what it takes to make art, and just our passion for making art. We're constantly doing call to action where it's just like, hey, audience member, you should create recklessly. It's good.
Yeah.
So that kind of stuff. If you like that kind of energy, feel free to check it out. The other part of my online presence is that I am a game designer. You can find my work on itch.io. And I make a bunch of tabletop RPGs, including my flagship title, which is Enter the Survival Horror, a tabletop game inspired by Resident Evil.
That's so fucking cool. That's super rad.
I will agree with you, actually.
Could you imagine? It's actually trash. I don't recommend it. Where can people find the podcast on the internet or social media and that stuff?
Halftone Takes is available wherever podcasts are found. So Podcast Addict, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, etc., etc. My games are found on my itch page, which is boocherry.itch.io. That is boo like ghost, cherry like fruit.
Yes.
And then Halftone Takes also has an Instagram page, if you want to check that out. And I also am tentatively on Blue Sky, but it totally doesn't matter because just absolutely the most screaming into the void social media experience I've had so far.
I go on Blue Sky just once a day and I'll scroll through some stuff and I'm like, okay, that's enough of whatever this platform is for the day.
Same with Threads. Threads is like if you just stared at a waterfall and just screamed anything. Like no one's gonna hear you. It's not gonna get anywhere. It's just drowned out by the. I feel like
Blue Sky all agrees that they're crazy, but Threads doesn't know what it is. It's just a bunch of people in a room. Like, what are we doing here? Do you know what we're doing here?
No one knows. But that's just kind of feels like modern social media.
Totally.
In general right now, because it's not like if I was on real Twitter, things would be any better.
No, absolutely. It's not even Twitter anymore.
It's the one thing that's acceptable to dead name.
Okay, that's fair.
That's true.
Where can people find us, Aaron? Where can they find more SouperPod Saga goodness?
Head on over to SouperPodSaga.com and find all of our episodes, our blog. I just wrote a blog article about Sushi Striker, a game nobody fucking knows or cares about.
I'm surprised it took this long for you to write about it.
I know.
I did not know about it, but I saw that article as part of me doing some cursory research on, trying to be an engaged member of society. When someone invites you onto your show, I should know anything about it.
That's fair. I like that. I appreciate it.
I know. I'm a model citizen. But that Sushi Strikers, I was just like, yeah, you're right. I haven't heard of it. And
it's
does
a game.
Seem fun.
It was published by Nintendo.
That's crazy.
And
they make games.
You can also on that website, by the way, superpodsaga.com. Here's a little secret: you can find our social medias on there.
All of them are there.
You can find all of our social Patreon medias. Too. Yeah, Patreon. Yeah, for $4 a month for the price of like a pumpkin spice latte, or if you're a Caribou coffee guy, a depth charge.
I think.
Yeah.
I was gonna say when they find $4 worth of coins in their couch, we want those coins.
Exactly. Send them our way. We'll leave a little like donation, like a McDonald's like donation plastic bin thing outside of my bedroom window, and you just drop them in.
Yep.
No Canadian coins, please. God damn it.
No, we can't. They accept them, but they're not supposed to. I worked at a bank, and the amount of people who were like, "You can't take my Canadian coins." I'm like, "No, we're an American establishment."
Look, I'll take a toonie if you guys don't want it.
A toonie.
But we're here to talk video games, right? I'm not wrong in that assumption.
No, you are correct.
Okay,
you sir are correct.
What are we talking about today, Aaron? You picked this topic. I've been gone for a couple weeks, so I'm like completely out of the loop on where we're at.
You are, and I promise to our listeners too, our schedule will be back on track. We'll have an actual schedule. It won't be random shit anymore. But yeah, today we're talking cozy games games that feel like a big old warm blanket around you, like a bowl of chicken noodle soup or whatever you prefer. If you don't like chicken noodle soup, I apologize.
You should like chicken noodle soup.
Yeah, chicken noodle soup's good.
Some people default right to tomato soup, and that just feels wrong.
Oh, no. Yeah, it's totally different.
I don't want to brag, but my wife makes a really good chicken noodle soup, like a homemade one. She cuts up all the ingredients, cooks it all, way better than in a can.
I don't want to brag, but we could just change the course of this topic. We can make this about cooking, because I love talking about food. I love cooking. Making your own stock is genuinely one of the biggest upgrades that you can do to your cooking.
Absolutely.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Soup Podcast.
The SouperPod Saga. We just changed it to soup.
Shit.
Yes.
Oh man. SouperPod. Yeah, okay. Go ahead.
I want you to know that a real thing that I do is I host what is called the Stock Exchange, where
stop it.
Where I tell all of my friends, "Hey, if you bring me bones, I will give you stock. This is a good deal, and you should do it."
Like a necromancer? Or like
fucking call me Gravelord Nito, because I want all them shits.
Oh my god. This that's cool though. That is cool. Yeah. You're making your own stock is huge,
Yeah.
Video games.
Do we have are we reading the Discord question and answer?
Oh yes.
The question we asked our Discord, which you can join, the SouperPod Saga Discord, is what are some of your favorite games from your childhood? And we got some answers.
Show me childhood.
Scrap Dog 15, despite me telling him to go away, said 2 games that I grew up playing on the family PC, NBA Live 98 and Backyard Baseball. Spent a ton of hours playing those games. I played NBA Live 97, which, just because I played that one, I feel is superior. I have to say that.
Who is the overpowered character in Backyard Baseball that you guys were talking about?
I don't know. I've never played Backyard Baseball.
Oh, okay. Well, anyway, moving on.
My basketball game from my childhood was, we had an old computer. I couldn't tell you what it was, but it exclusively ran on floppy disks. Like the operating system required a floppy disk. and we had a floppy disk with the game Dr. J versus Larry Bird.
Amazing.
And
that sounds so cool.
The only thing I remember about it is that you could do a slam dunk and you could break the backboard, and then a little janitor would come out and he would grumble as he swept up the glass.
And this was on a floppy disk?
Yeah, this was like ski-free level of, old jank PC game.
Ski-free. I love ski-free.
Ski-free rules.
Rick Firestone, Pixel Project Radio, he says, FF9 and Kingdom Hearts were huge parts of my childhood, but I also remember playing tons of Blast Chamber with my cousins. That's a PS1 game that would be excellent to see remade. Hey, Rick, stop copying my childhood, please.
Yeah, Rick is just word for word saying Aaron's childhood.
Except for, I don't know what Blast Chamber is, but I love FF9 and Kingdom Hearts. Those are good.
Professor Tom said, it depends on how you define childhood, but I get nostalgic for Final Fantasy 4, 6, and 7. Those came out while I was in middle school, high school, and college, respectively. Also, I get nostalgic for River City Ransom, Mega Man 2, Castlevania 2, Capcom beat-em-ups for the SNES, WWE Raw for the SNES, the WWE N64 wrestling games, and Tekken 2.
Dang, Tom. Okay.
It's a lot of games. I missed out on the Nintendo 64 childhood stuff. I had a PlayStation. Every time I put a Nintendo 64 controller in my hands back then, I was like, this is the stupidest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Your body rejects it. Like your hands instantly develop rheumatoid arthritis, and like your fingers start curling up like old green beans or something.
Can I just say, correct opinion?
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. The worst controller ever created.
It is. I hate it.
Someone's gonna be like, the Intellivision.
I love using the C buttons to move my aim.
Someone's going to be like, the Ouya controller is worse. At least you're not using an N gauge.
Yeah.
Oh my fucking god, you have to take out the fucking battery in order to put a new game in. Worst designed piece of shit ever, dude.
Bleak.
Oh man, okay. The Chan, he says, I wasn't born during the initial wave of NES games, but damn, as a kid, I loved playing Castlevania 2, Zelda 2, Mario Bros 2, and Mega Man 2. There's a lot of
those twos.
Chan.
Yeah. And the Zelda 2 is a big, bold claim.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Those are great twos. I love them.
My dad's favorite Zelda game.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Also, okay, this got cut out of the Zelda episode, but Aaron, you were like, why would he pick Zelda 2? That's a stupid thing for him to do. And I thought about it a little bit, and I was like, well, at the time, there was only 2 of them. So it was either the first one or the second one. It wasn't like he had Ocarina of Time to compare it to.
Mm-hmm.
That's fair.
He's an old man, Aaron.
I'm sorry. No, I love your dad. I've said this a million times. Your dad's awesome.
I know. It was so sad that got cut out because he was actually listening to the episode. And he's like, you didn't talk about Zelda 2. And I'm like, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it was all in that part that somehow didn't get recorded. Yeah, I do apologize for that, Mr. Tommy's dad.
Mr. Tommy's dad should play Infernax.
I don't know if that's going to be possible.
Fair enough.
Real Dave Jackson said, as a small child, I really loved the Power Rangers movie game with Ivan Ooze on the Game Gear. And then after that, Pokemon and Ocarina of Time took over.
Man, what a movie.
I was terrified of Ivan Ooze. I was terrified of him.
Didn't he try to sell ooze in a can?
He sure did.
He forced everyone to make it, didn't he?
I think so.
I watched this this movie a couple months ago.
Yes,
and I have a very vivid memory of it. Yes, he turns into like a huckster clown and is just like, guys, guess what? Gak is back, baby. And then it ensorcels all the adults, and he tries to get them to jump off a cliff.
There's no way that's a real word. Ensorcels.
It's absolutely a real word, and it is funny. It's a comedy word.
That's a very Ronald McDonald sounding word, but I'll take your word for it.
I had Gak, and a friend had a trampoline, and we were like, let's throw the Gak on the trampoline. And so we did, and it flew off into the grass and dirt and stuff and got all the grass and dirt in it. It was impossible to get out. It was ruined from that day on.
Correct.
Don't you know that one bouncy thing plus another bouncy thing cancels them
double
both
bouncy.
out?
No,
negative bouncy. No, negative.
It's supposed to be double bouncy.
It's double. Or no, fuck. Sorry, I messed that up. Moving on here.
It's like when I was a kid and I was like, I'm going to help my mom by creating the strongest soap in the world by mixing all the soaps together.
It starts corroding through everything.
Things are going to be so clean you don't even know.
Like that episode of King of the Hill where like Peggy's desperately searching for a new topic for her fucking paper or whatever. And she tells everybody
I remember that one.
She tells people to mix ammonia and bleach.
No,
that's the recipe for killer mustard gas. Whoa.
Unless you're in Silent Hill trying to defeat a cloud of moths, it's inadvisable to do that.
Save it for the moss, people. Bachwheel says Stellar 7 was great on PC as a kid. NES had Super Mario Bros. 2 and 3. Genesis had Sonic 2. I don't know what Stellar 7 is.
What's Stellar 7? Does anyone know what Stellar 7 is?
I'm looking it up. Keep buy me time. Hurry. Buy me time.
Distorted Rules says the Pokemon games. I played the first 3 gens too many times to count. Parasite Eve, and Metal Gear Solid 1 and 2, and Final Fantasy 9.
According to our good friend Wikipedia, Stellar 7 is a 3D strategy arcade game by Damon Stye. Tank simulation.
Oh, I was definitely thinking like this is like a Gunstar Heroes or something.
Yeah,
that's what I was thinking. Yep. Thanks, Wikipedia.
Thanks, Wikipedia.
Yeah, Ugly Kid Joe Cross, he says, as a child, I remember Tecmo Bowl, Bubble Bobble, Gunsmoke, Black Bass, or Bass, I don't know, Contra, NBA Jam, Teens, WWE No Mercy, Tony Hawk, FF 7 to 10, Clock Tower, Parasite Eve. Favorite game, I still stream full playthrough every Christmas season. Hell yeah.
We could not have had different childhoods. I don't think I played any of those games growing up.
I played Clock Tower, but it was the worst one in the whole series. I don't know what Black Bass is, though. I'll look that up, too.
It's a covert ops fishing game.
What? No way. What?
It's like things are procure on site, so you're gonna have to strangle that guard to get his fishing rod.
I can't tell if you're being serious. I trust you.
No, but doesn't that sound like a good game? Actually, I'm talking myself
cool.
into it. This is a game jam.
There's a VR game that's a stealth kayaking game.
What the fuck?
I tried to play that because I do like VR games. I've got an Oculus, and that game instantly sent me to Barf Town. Like,
oh, I'm sure.
Barf Town.
But what a great idea, stealth kayaking.
It is a really good idea, and for a certain type of person, it reduces motion sickness. But I am not that type of person.
The last VR game I played was the Nintendo Cardboard one, where you put your head.
Labo. You
put your head in the goose's butt and you fly around.
What?
And that made me really sick, and so I never went back again.
The Labo is probably not an ideal VR onboarding experience.
But you know what is ideal? Cozy games. We're ready for the cozy games, right?
Wait, Patreon.
Patreon.
I asked
Adam, we're not ready yet. Stop trying to push us forward.
I asked our patrons in our VIP section of our Discord server, which you should join and become a patron. There's only $4 a month. It's pretty good. You get bonus content. Anyway, I asked our patrons, what are some of your favorite mechanics in video games? Which, in retrospect, was a really dumb question. I should have made it more specific. But Distorted Rules, he says, I love the Mega Evolutions in X and Y and Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. Also, while not an intended mechanic, I love the speed run for Witcher 3 as they mess with the game to give Geralt super mega speed. It's funny to watch.
I remember liking the idea of mega evolutions, but then I didn't like them in the game. It just felt like, okay, the thing's starting, let me start my mega evolution to steamroll everything. But I never did competitive, so maybe it's different. It's actually facing people.
The certain ones are super overpowered and competitive. There's also a I guess like a fact about mega evolutions that they say in game or whatever is that the mega evolved Pokemon are constantly in pain, in immense pain.
Jeez.
Yeah, it's super dark.
I miss those subtle dark Pokemon references.
like Mew under a truck or whatever.
That's not what I was thinking, but
I know. I'm just being stupid.
He was probably dark under there.
I mean, it probably was. You should have brought a flashlight. One of those ones that you shake and it like charges up the batteries, because those were cool.
Yeah.
And then the last one, Jameson says, timed attacks from Super Mario RPG and active reload in Gears of War. I love the benefits of perfecting what would otherwise be mundane actions in games and that sense of accomplishment for getting it right.
Couldn't agree more.
Yep, couldn't agree more, Jameson. Good ones.
Mm-hmm.
Good picks. Don't forget, you can be a patron. You can give us money to answer our questions.
And you get 3 bonus episodes a month. 3.
Yeah.
That's so many.
They're good too.
We think so anyway. I hope other people like them. I hope you love them, patrons. Love you.
Okay, now it's time for cozy games, right?
Yes.
My favorite mechanic is from a horror game.
What is it?
And it's the motion tracker from Alien Isolation.
Ooh, that's a really, really good one.
Have you played Alien Isolation?
What's that?
It's
I played it for an hour and then gave up because it was scary.
It's very scary, and it's too long.
Incredibly scary.
The pacing is bad. However, the core mechanics are great. So the motion tracker works exactly like it does in the movie Alien 1, not Aliens, in that it's a big chunky thing, and it unreliably tells you that something is vaguely in the vicinity. But one of the things that I think is really remarkable that I've never seen any other game do is that while you have it out, you're looking on the machine, and it's also like faintly beeping, indicating proximity. So you'll have like escalating beeps as it gets closer. So you'll have it out, you're trying to figure out where it is, and then you do that by pressing left trigger, but then by pressing right trigger, you can rack the focus. So when you have it up and you're looking at the machine, the background is blurred, but then you can press a button in order to have the background come into focus and the motion tracker be out of focus. And I don't know why that is so effective, but it's really effective and very clever. Excellent at building tension.
Interesting.
Hell yeah.
I never even experienced that. I don't know if I never got to it because I was a coward and walked really slowly, or
if you only played an hour, I don't even know if the alien showed up.
Oh, it didn't. It definitely didn't. I was very thankful for that. On a similar page, what makes cozy games? What do you guys look for in cozy games? Aaron, you first. Like what makes a game cozy to you?
When I think of a cozy game, I think of a game that is just stress-free. A game that you can pick up and play and not have to worry about like meeting a deadline or I guess a quota. Not to make it sound like a job, but like a game where you don't really have anything that you need to do within a certain amount of time or anything like that. You just go at your own leisurely pace and you need to play the game, and that's pretty much it.
Same for you, Adam?
So part of the reason why I was brought on here, I assume, is because about 30% of my time is spent talking about genre and taxonomy, which is stuff that I think is really interesting.
Mm-hmm. This is why I brought you on. Yes. Yeah.
But so for me, like, I think there's a distinction to be drawn between comfort games and cozy games, because comfort games can kind of be anything and they're really subjective. It's just whatever you find relaxing. And for some people, that might be Stardew Valley, but it might also be Dark Souls. It might be, like, for me, a real comfort game is The Binding of Isaac.
Oh yeah.
And that is not a relaxing game. It's just one that I've put enough hours into that, like, I'm able to just fall into it and just really turn my brain off. And that's good, but I think that can be conflated sometimes with a cozy game, which is more intentional. So cozy games, for me, encompass one or both of the ideas of either cozy aesthetics or cozy mechanics. And it really can be either, but they're usually seen hand in hand. Cozy aesthetics are often cute, are often colorful and vibrant and a little bouncy. But then you also get a cozy game like Dredge, which is a little bit spooky and it's a little bit gross. But I think there's an undeniable cozy quality to something like that as well.
I definitely picked some comfort games by definition, and I apologize.
That's fine.
I'm looking at my list like, uh-oh.
In no way am I trying to invalidate any picks.
I'm deleting everything.
I mean, you have time because my first pick is Professor Layton. So go ahead and revise your list, Tommy, because
that's a great one.
Because Professor Layton is like I feel like that's just the definition of a cozy game because there's no time limit to anything. There's no stress really to anything. You just strolling through town, tapping away at the screen trying to find those hint coins and just solving mysteries with your child friend and and a true gentleman never leaves a puzzle unsolved. And
I didn't know you had an audio clip prepared.
No, I'm not even close to sound like Professor Layton.
Is Professor Layton in the room with us right now?
And I guess sometimes the puzzles are a little frustrating because like I'm really bad with math puzzles. Like anything else I'm fine with, but math puzzles really frustrate me. Mostly just because I suck at math. But yeah, I feel like that's a pretty safe bet for a cozy game. Is just
the thing that really makes it comfy for me is just how supportive Professor Layton is.
Oh,
like
yeah.
you joke that he's a gentleman, but he's such a nice guy. And like even with Luke, he's trying to get him to be a good person, and it just makes you feel all cozy where he's like, don't stress, don't worry, everything's going to be okay. The only stressful part is when you do a puzzle wrong and he gives you that frowny face for half a frame. I hate that. I feel so terrible.
He comes at you with the chancla.
The chancla.
Have you played those before, Adam? Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I've played a couple of the Professor Laytons, but I wanted to give a tangential recommendation. If you enjoy the Professor Layton series, I also recommend Puzzle Agent. Have you heard of Puzzle Agent?
No,
nope,
I've heard of both of those words, but never together.
Puzzle Agent is basically a Professor Layton clone. It's exactly the same shit, but it's done in collaboration with a somewhat famous comic artist, so you might recognize the style. I believe his name is Grick. And it's basically like, what if Professor Layton, instead of being like a cozy Poirot style mystery, was instead Twin Peaks, and there was just like an offness and a weirdness about it, but in like a funny way, where like, you know, there's a conspiracy about, there's something going wrong in the town, but it all centers around like a pencil factory, and there might be garden gnomes in the woods with sinister intent. And there's like ladies who are, you know, the lady who runs the hotel is constantly offering you hot dish, don't you know?
Oh yes, that's right up my alley.
Yeah, it's very sweet. I like it a lot.
Oh, and it's only
sold me
$5.
On the hot dish.
It's only $5. That's super cool, and it's made by Telltale.
Yeah, Puzzle Agent.
That's super cool. Thank you. Yeah.
My first pick is Tinykin, which is absolutely a cozy game because wow, what a fun, relaxing, stress-free game. There's no timer, there's no combat. You're just put into these wonderful looking environments and told to go and explore and collect all the Tinykin and solve the platforming puzzles. Like your overall goal is to like collect pieces for a rocket ship, which sounds a lot like what's that Tinykin clone, Aaron?
You mean the game that I was supposed to lend you but never did because I sold it?
What's that one called? Pikmin, that's the one. I always forget about Pikmin because Tinykin's so good. Just kidding, by the way. But yeah, it's just, I don't know the last time I played a game that made me feel like I was just a kid sitting on the floor with my GameCube without any worries in the world. Just like, I'm just going to sit here and play Tinykin for a bit and explore. And the music's so charming and it's just fun to, I don't know. It's so good. I'm sorry I'm at a loss for words.
It's okay. No, yeah, we've heard you talk about the game in quite a few episodes, so everybody knows. But yeah, Tinykin does seem super cool, and there's no combat at all, right? It's just
none,
platforming.
Zero combat. Okay. I was surprised when I learned that Pikmin had combat because I thought that it was going to be a more direct clone, but I can't imagine combat because I love my little Tinykin guys. I don't want them to have to fight.
You know, to hear their little sorrow, like whenever they die.
Yeah, I don't want them to die ever.
I hope I did that right. What's your first pick, Adam?
Well, if Puzzle Agent isn't going to be my first pick,
it can be if you want.
Sure. Yeah. Well, I'll stick with Puzzle Agent. Again, just very charming. I love the art direction. It's got the Professor Layton steez, but just like a little bit more of a weird edge to it that I personally appreciate. I love a kind of parody Twin Peaks weird energy. So it definitely works for me.
I just love the look of the main character. I don't know what is happening to him, but in some screenshots, he like just looks like he's freaking out.
Oh
or
yeah,
he's either freaking out or pointing a gun.
yeah. He's high strung. Okay, he's much less well composed than a Mr. Layton.
We need to make this the background for our Twitter page. Is he's just saying brains always thinking about puzzles.
Send it to me.
It's me.
Take a screenshot and send it to me, Tommy.
I will.
He just like me for real.
Oh yeah, I guess it's my turn again, huh?
It is your turn.
Okay.
That's how it goes.
Okay. How about have you guys played Chicory, A Colorful Tale?
It's on my to-play list.
Yeah, also on mine.
Oh man,
I know it's good,
and it's on Game Pass. So if you have Game Pass, it's on there. Basically, just like a platformy coloring book, essentially, with puzzles too, of course. Yeah, basically the I forget what's. I guess like the brush wielder Chicory. She's down. She's depressed. She did something bad. Nobody knows. But you, as the main character, Pie is the little dog you play as, not Chicory. You go around the world. You can color in like the grass and the trees and stuff like that. But you don't have to. You can, but you don't have to. And you'll just go around the world, solve puzzles, solve little mysteries, and along the way, you also like I guess like on chests on the ground and stuff like that, you can find different little pieces of clothing. Like you can have a different hat, a different shirt. There's also there's this really cool part where in one of the first towns you go to this like t-shirt store and they let you design a t-shirt. And so for mine, I drew a little poop with a smiley face, and that's my favorite shirt. I always have that on.
You can put on the shirts. Nice.
Yeah. And it's a super chillaxed game, super chillaxed music, and it's it's got a pretty emotional story to it as well too. I don't want to spoil any of it because it's still fairly new, and you guys haven't played it, of course, but it's definitely worth checking out. It's pretty fun and cozy.
Aaron.
Oh wait,
Aaron,
wait!
Oh,
all the characters are named after like foods and spices and stuff, and that's really cool. Okay, now go.
Oh, that's cute.
Aaron, I'm afraid that this game would stress me out. I've always had a difficult relationship with coloring. I've always been bad at coloring, and I look at other people's coloring, and they always like color in the lines, and everything looks good. And I never look like that, so I avoid coloring. Would that be a problem for me?
No, because
I'll hang up and listen to the answer.
No, because you can actually you can hold it's like left trigger or right trigger, and it'll just push the brush against whatever, and it'll slowly fill in whatever with color. So
no,
you can just have it color bit on its own or whatever.
Oh, that's perfect for me then.
Yep.
I would avoid the online communities code because they're super hardcore and they're just like, you just got to get good at coloring books.
Oh no, I can't.
the coloring book meta. I love the idea that there's like a coloring book meta that like you don't color in the lines, you don't do the connect the dots puzzles at the beginning. What's wrong with you? Why do you have this coloring book?
The junior jumble is a trap, and anyone who does it is embarrassing themselves.
Oh,
Aaron.
God. Yes, sir.
Is this the game I thought I heard a podcast talk about where if you're stuck with a puzzle, you can call your mom or dad for help?
Yeah, exactly. You can go find a payphone, and not only that, but they'll tell you like if you don't know where to go next, you can call your mom, and she'll be like, "Oh, hey, honey, you're supposed to go here and go here," and then if you still don't know, she'll ask like, "Hey, do you want to talk to your dad as well? He's right here." And it's really cute because it's like your mom and like your dad's in the background, like, "Hey, let me talk to him. Let me talk to Pie. Let me talk to him." And she's like, "Do you want to talk to your dad?" And then if you say yes, she'll hand the phone to your dad, and he'll give you like more. What's the word I'm looking for? More
concrete.
Yeah, more concrete clues. Like he'll be like, "Oh, hey, kiddo, you're supposed to go here," and then you go here and you put that in there, and then yeah, it's just That's so cool. I forgot about that.
I love it. I love it. As soon as I heard about that mechanic, I was like, that's so clever.
I love a game with a built-in hint system.
Yeah.
Yes, I agree. Speaking of games that have hint systems, the game I'm going to talk about doesn't have one.
What a segue.
That's what we're experts at. Terraria. It does have some combat, but I don't really play it for the combat. Terraria was like the first game post college that was like my hang out with friends and play game. So we would all get online and build our little Terraria world and just chill and talk about life and stuff and go and collect things. And it really is a great playground for that. It's got like the nice happy music and you can just do whatever you want in there. I never got hooked on Minecraft in any way, but Terraria hooked me hard where I'm sure it was because I was playing with friends too, but I it's hard to go back to play that because I'm not with those same two friends that I played with before. But at the time, it was a really great to do some mining, do some crafting, being like, hey guys, here's some gold over here. Let's all mine this gold together. And then we did, and we accomplished things that we couldn't accomplish in life. Good times.
I played quite a bit of that game too with an old roommate of mine, and I think we got really, really, really far, and then he moved out, and I stopped playing. Because it's like, without him, I might as well just not play the fucking game.
Yeah, absolutely. Friendship.
What about you, Venom?
Yeah, so for my second, I am going to go with one that I mentioned previously, Dredge. Dredge is new. I really like Dredge. So over the winter, my brother came to visit, and we decided that we were going to make a tiny little game prototype. So we learned some Unity, and we put out a tiny little thing. And it's, it almost doesn't matter. The point is that it was just fun to do and fun to experiment with. And as a result, that gave me just some more insight about, like, man, games are hard to make. It takes a lot of work to do stuff. And when I played Dredge, I was just filled with admiration for the amount of character and personality that they were able to squeeze out of such a simple and almost like minimalist package. They really do a lot with a little in Dredge, and I think it just absolutely is oozing with atmosphere and personality. It's got spooky vibes, but like not quite Spirit Halloween spooky vibes, but not entirely not that either, where it's it's spooky, it's not scary, it's just gonna be a little pleasantly goofy, and that really is like a happy place for me. I like that a whole lot. And then as far as the mechanics go, you just go and they have like 10 different fishing games that you cycle through as you explore a cool area, and you find all these fish, and let me tell you, they are fucked up little guys in a way that I really appreciate. And the music is great, the vibes are immaculate. Big fan of Dredge.
Immaculate vibes. Yeah, it does. Go.
Video games are a miracle to exist at all. So for something to have like the mechanics and the style and the tone and the vibes, is special.
Absolutely.
And it's a sort of Metroidvania too, isn't it? Like you upgrade your boat to go more places or something.
I wouldn't call it a Metroidvania because it's not really ability gating you. Like your progress is not gated behind gaining new verbs, which is what I would call the primary genre signifier. Again, I'm going to care more about genre and taxonomy than is strictly necessary.
That's fine.
Would you call it a baseball sim?
I would call it a baseball sim. Yeah.
I agree. Okay.
But there definitely is the cycle, which I don't know if I've heard anyone put a name to it, but I feel like it really should have a name, where this is common in a fair number of these cozy games. I would consider it to be like the cozy treadmill.
Yes.
Where you you have a thing, you have a garden, you have a boat, you have a whatever it is, a cult of the lamb, and you're just like, hey, I got some like light base management stuff that I gotta do, so I gotta go out and explore a dungeon or go fishing or find some resources somehow, and then that'll let me upgrade my base a little bit, and then you just like kind of do these back and forth shuttle runs between managing your location and then going out and collecting more resources. And it's a very satisfying self-fulfilling loop, because as soon as you upgrade your stuff, you're like, well, I want to give it a try, and as soon as you give it a try, you get more resources and you're like, well, I want to upgrade my stuff. And so it just the hours can melt away as you just vibe with that kind of thing.
That is super cool. Okay, that's good. That's good. My next pick. I mean, I thought it was real cozy and comforting. Some might disagree, but have at you, because I'm going with Shenmue.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Shenmue. It's I mean, I guess no. Yeah, the only time limit really is just the day-night cycle. And have either of you guys? I know Tommy hasn't played Shenmue, but have you played Shenmue, Adam?
I have not. That was not before my time, but it was, outside of my sphere, let's say.
Okay.
Yeah, agreed.
Okay. Yeah, Shenmue basically yeah, the main character Rio, how is how they pronounce it. Basically, in the beginning, your dad gets killed by this assassin group, and so the whole game, all the first game, well, I guess all the games really, you're gathering clues from people and basically tracking down as much information as you can about who killed your dad so you can find them and avenge him. And it starts off, he's just like, hey, yes, everybody, like he goes from his house, goes into town, and it's just this small little town in Japan. And it feels homey as hell because there's like kids playing in yards, and there's people that are out doing chores depending on like what time of day it is. Like they could be like early in the morning, they'll just be, I don't know, raking their lawn, or like toward the end of the night, they'll be going to the store and then coming back home or something. Like they're never just like other game NPCs are just, they're just in the same static spot like the entire time. But like NPCs in this game have like uh they have like a lifestyle, and they have like different patterns. Like they'll do things at different times of day and stuff like that. But yeah, so you'll go around and talk to people in town. Hey, did you see guys drive away in a black car, or like people in black robes or something? And people will point you in like this direction and that. Then you'll write them all down in your little notebook, and you'll go to different places and try to find more clues from people that might know more. So you're going from like that town to like the next town, and you're talking to people in like the arcade or like the casino, and all the while you're taking in all of like the ambience of this I guess like these two or three small little Japan towns. And you can go play some what is it, Super Hang On in the arcade. You can play Space Harrier. You can just go play games in the arcade. You can buy a fucking soda from the soda machine if you want to, and there's different little drinks as well too. You can buy just a regular cola, a can of coffee if you want to. They don't do anything. It's just there for the sake of you to just go buy a soda. Um, and it's just such a neat little game. It just definitely way ahead of its time for the Dreamcast.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's cozy as hell, man. Like once you start like learning where everything is in a town, you feel like, wow, I basically live here now. Like I come here on a daily basis to come down to this one shop and buy some food before I head on down to the docks or whatever. It's great.
That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool, Aaron. It's real
It
cool.
is cool.
Yeah,
it is cool.
It's a slices life simulator,
Basically,
by all accounts.
Yeah. I actually, my next game is going to be a riff on that, and I want you to think of how Adam described his cozy gameplay treadmill loop,
yeah.
because a cozy game for me is Red Dead Redemption 2, and I
Okay.
need to specify. I I treated that game as a cowboy life simulator. I did not play that to experience the story.
That's fair.
I played that game like a psychopath. I did not sprint unless like it actually called for sprinting, so I would walk around town. I never made my horse gallop. unless like obviously that necessitated. So I just sauntered through the world. No fast traveling because cowboys did not have the ability to fast travel.
Holy shit.
I planned out.
This one does.
I would plan out every day like as if I'm a cowboy in my day. I would wake up in the morning, go around the camp, and do my chores. I would move the hay bales up in front of the horses. I would gosh, what was the other stuff you had to do? You had to move wood or something, make sure everyone had food, just do all that stuff. And then I would plot out, okay, like here's where I'm going to go to do some hunting. So I'm going to go do that. And then if it's been a few days since I'd showered, I have to go into town, go into the hotel to pay to use their bath so that I would be clean, and go back at night and spend some time with the crew people. And I just did that for a long, long time. Just living that cowboy life, and I loved it. I got it was at the time I was playing that game, I was unemployed and door dashing, and so I would listen to the Red Dead Redemption soundtrack as I was going around, just pretending like I'm a cowboy making my deliveries.
That's cool.
I was in a weird place, but I loved it.
No, that is super cool. There's not very many games that do like there's not like I guess really any cowboy life simulators. Because I know
there
like,
sure isn't.
I know like Gun and like Red Dead Revolver were more or less just games. I don't know how else to explain that. They were like video games. So like Red Dead Redemption is more or less a sim.
Cowboy simulator.
Yes.
I'm just curious because both of you have brought up like kind of life sim adjacent games. Are you guys Yakuza fans?
Yes.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Yes. I love Yakuza.
Great. I haven't played one. But
oh man!
But I've you mentioned Dave Jackson who wrote into the show. He had an episode on the Yakuza series and really sold the hell out of it. So I'm like, I'm tempted. I'm gonna get there sometime.
You should. Yakuza 0 made me cry.
Zero by all accounts is the place to start.
Even Yakuza 7, the one that's Yakuza Like a Dragon, that one has some moments that'll make you tear up too. Like I fell in love with all the friends in that game.
It's so stupid because it's so dumb. There's so many things in that game that are so dumb, and then like 30 minutes later, it's the most emotional scene you've ever seen in your life.
Yeah.
So I was part of the struggle is to be like, hey, I could play this game by myself, or I want to play this game with my wife. Hey, wife. Do you want to dedicate a good amount of time to sitting and like vibing with this particular media? And sometimes that's an uphill battle depending on what you're trying to sell.
Oh yeah.
However, we got in the mood to be like, hey, let's do a rewatch of Samurai Champloo. And as we were watching, I was like, oh, this is Yakuza. It's like, oh, this is the dumbest shit I've ever seen. Followed up by like, oh, this is pretty harrowing. Oh, this is pretty. Oh, geez. Please stop crying.
Basically, dude.
So
like
yeah.
Like 1 minute in Yakuza 7, you'll be doing a side quest for this homeless guy who has a pet lobster. I think her name is like Sherry or something. And you'll be like, oh, she pinched my finger and I got mad at her and threw her into the fucking river. Can you go fish her out for me? So you're going fishing through this trash-filled river for this little tiny lobster, and then once you bring it back, he's like, "Oh, thank you, I love you so much." And then you'll go do a quest for this kid that one of the main characters is sending money to because a bad cop killed his dad, and he feels really bad about it. And it's just like, oh man, oh, don't cry, Aaron, don't do it.
I walked into an RC car racing scene. Not a scene, but like it was a mini game thing where you could build your own RC car and race them. And I had a ton of fun with that. But like as you won more races, you got more background from your competitors, and they had like these horribly sad backstories where like they were friends and they didn't talk anymore, and you had to help them mend those relationships. And I was like, I thought I was just gonna do some kart racing. So good.
Is it Adam's?
It's Adam's turn. It's Adam's turn.
Adam.
I've got too many ideas because you guys, as you're talking, like more things are occurring to me.
Good.
So I want to make a bizarre recommendation.
Okay.
Here's a real weirdo one for me to say. I don't think that you should play this game because you can't play this game unless you can already speak Japanese. However, you should go to youtube.com, go to action button, and watch Tim Rogers' 6-hour videos on games that have never made it to the US, because he goes into such depths and presents them with such warmth. I feel like I have played these games. And the two games that he did are Tokimeki Memorial, which is a really interesting sounding dating sim that without exaggeration, I would play in a heartbeat if it was translated into English. The way that he talks about it, like, really is very compelling. Like, I think it's really neat. And then the other one that he talks about is Boku no Natsuyasume, which is basically a summer camp slice of life game. Not a summer camp, a summer vacation slice of life game where you are like a 8-year-old kid and you go and visit your family who's out in the country and you just vibe for a summer vacation and you just do stuff.
That's cool.
And maybe you fly some kites and maybe you collect some bugs to do bug wrestling, or maybe you just hang out with your sister. And that's the whole game. And he, again, sells the hell out of it over the course of these 6-hour videos that I have watched multiple times. This is primo background noise, guys. Let me tell you.
You weren't kidding. It's 6 hours and 12 minutes long.
Yeah.
There's an intermission.
Tim Rogers, if you're not familiar with, does extremely long form video essay work and is up there with like Noah Gervais as the best in the business right now. Hugely recommended.
That's super cool. Bring him to America. Remake him for me.
Yeah,
because I don't speak Japanese.
Absolutely.
Was that your pick?
That was my look. I'll leave it to the jury to decide whether or not it's a real pick. Because again, I got more.
That's fine. You can do another pick.
Yeah, do more.
All right, my next one is going to be Night in the Woods.
Oh, tell me about this game.
Night in the Woods is a game that's really special to me. We just recorded a episode of my podcast, Halftone Takes, that was exclusively about it, where I try to avoid spoilers for as much as possible. But the short version is that this is cozy in a different way because it, again, has kind of spooky adjacent vibes. You know, it's very much a game to be played in autumn. A big part of the game is that slice of life hangout simulator where you're just spending time with your friends and like being a real college dropout dirtbag in a small town, which I really appreciate. Like, that's a very fun premise and character to inhabit. But also, that game is cozy for me in a very specific way because it is such a specific game to me. It is a game that is made by people who are from the Pittsburgh area, where I am only a couple hours away from. And it is a game that is about that part of the United States. It's about a really specific time and place that I was extremely familiar with. You know, it is about Rust Belt America and kind of the brain drain that's happened there and the way that these small towns just feel like they slowly dry up. And it's weird that is a comfort thing for me, but it is something that like is so familiar that there is just a really strong connection to it and like a resonance. It's probably my favorite slice of life style of game.
Have you played it, Aaron?
I haven't, but I can absolutely feel the vibe that Adam is getting because like I don't know if you're familiar with our show at all, but we talk a lot about being from like rural Iowa. And rural Iowa is a lot of that too. Like there are more and more small towns that are becoming even smaller because you just can't get as much business as like bigger cities ever since all these other, big corporations open up and everything like that. But yeah, small town Iowas have almost like little to no main street anything anymore. But I have seen videos about the game. I've avoided like all spoilers though about the story because I do need to play it.
I really, really want you to play and get your opinion since we're from the same small town, because for whatever reason it didn't click with me, and I was really hoping it would because I was from a small town like that. I don't even know what it was. I just remember finishing playing it and being like, I never got that vibe. I never got the happy, well, not even like the happy thing, but it just didn't click with me, and I was disappointed with that. But I'm very glad it clicked for you and a lot of other people, because it seems like a great experience when it does.
Yeah. And maybe that's just the difference between small rural town and like specifically Rust Belt.
Exactly. That's what I was thinking when you mentioned that. I was like, that they are very different.
Yeah. Sorry it didn't work for you. It very worked for me.
I forgive you.
And I will now pass the baton because I've been talking for entirely too long.
Nonsense. There's no such thing.
No, hey Tommy, is it time for an ad break?
You read my mind and took the words out of my mouth.
I did literally. I reached down your throat and ripped out your heart.
Very uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
Ad break. We'll be right back.
SouperPod Saga is brought to you today by our superstar patrons, a novel console, Jared, Jameson, and Adam. You're all as attractive and awesome as you are generous and gracious. Your support means the world to Tommy and I, and of course you're all number one. And we'll continue to pray to your names every single morning, noon, and night. Thank you all. We love you. Hey superstars, are you a coffee addict looking for your next big caffeine fix? Or are you just tired of all the normal boring coffee options out there now? Well, you need to check out Bones Coffee. Bones Coffee has lots of different varieties of coffee flavors. They've got things like red velvet, cookies and cream, s'mores. They've got one that's called Jamaican Me Crazy that's really good. It's like caramel vanilla rum kind of thing. But they also have just your usual, salted caramel and French vanilla and all that stuff. They even have decaf and what's called high voltage, which is just extra strength. And they've also got espresso. They've got all sorts of cool stuff. Plus, if you use coupon code SouperPod Saga at checkout, you'll get 20% off of your order. And again, that's SouperPod Saga at checkout to get 20% off. You can also follow the link in our episode description. And yeah, why not? Use that one-time coupon code. Like I said, 20% off. It's great. Head over to bonescoffee.com. Get yourself some coffee, some cool gear like mugs or French press kits, stuff like that. Check it out. Okay, bye. It's really important to stay hydrated. They say to drink 8 to 10 cups of water per day to stay properly hydrated, but sometimes that can be difficult to do and completely inconvenient, and most of us don't feel like carrying a gallon of water with us at all times. That's where Liquid IV comes in. Liquid IV is the category-winning hydration brand fueling your well-being, and their hydration multiplier is the one product you're missing in your daily routine. In just one stick, you get 5 essential vitamins and 2 times faster hydration than water alone. Use it first thing in the morning, before a workout, when you feel run down, after a long night out, or on long flights. Man, in Iowa, the summers can be brutal. 90 degrees and tons of humidity, and that just saps the energy and water right out of your system within just a few minutes. Luckily, Liquid IV hydrates 2 times faster than water alone, with 3 times the electrolytes of traditional sports drinks. It's very important to replace those electrolytes, and I just love how quick and easy it is to use Liquid IV. You just get 1 packet and a bottle of water, and you just pour that packet into the bottle of water, shake the heck out of it, and bam, you are good to go. Since using Liquid IV, I've felt way more alert, active, and just plain better versus drinking water alone. My favorite flavors to go to are the Yuzu Pineapple Energy Multiplier and the Tropical Punch Hydration Multiplier. I can't get enough of those ones. And what makes them even better is, like I mentioned earlier, they're packed with 5 essential vitamins like B3, B5, B6, B12, and vitamin C. And again, 3 times the electrolytes of traditional sports drinks. And they're non-GMO and free from gluten, dairy, and soy, which is just great. So you can get 20% off when you go to liquidiv.com and use code SouperPod Saga at checkout. That's 20% off anything when you shop Better Hydration today using promo code SouperPod Saga, SUPERPOD SAGA at liquidiv.com. You have a great one, superstars. Fuck, I had an idea.
Don't worry, I got one if you don't.
Okay, go.
Thanks for sponsoring the podcast, Apocalypse, the newest brand in lip gloss wear. Have you ever wanted to have good-looking lips that are also remote detonation devices? Well, look no further than Apocalypse. Just apply that lip gloss onto your lips. They look nice and bright and stuff, and then you kiss them on the wall, and then you walk away, and you got your little detonator, and you press the button, and boom, explosion.
Apocalypse. It's the bomb.
It's the bomb.
That's spelled BALM.
Oh, yes!
Oh, fuck. You're a natural, Adam. Holy shit. That reminds me of the explosive spray foam shit from the Batman Arkham series, but continue. What flavors are there, Tommy? What flavors of Apocalypse are there?
There's caramel, there's pumpkin pie, butterscotch, McDonald's, there's
McDonald's?
What's the flavor of McDonald's? Is it like a Happy Meal?
It's just generic McDonald's. You know, like when you open the bag and and take a big whiff, it's that smell but in lip form.
It's that smell but as a flavor but in lip form.
Exactly. It's got every flavor your heart could desire.
Are they edible? If my child decides
No. Do not ingest the explosive lip balm.
I was gonna say that Agent Orange sounded like a good flavor.
Oof. Yeah.
Ooh, we gotta make like really like hardcore violent flavor names. Like there's guillotine grapefruit,
cherry napalm.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's it.
C4 cantaloupe. I'm not good at this.
Cantaloupe. Oh, dude.
Deniable grape.
Apocalyptic coconut. What? Hey, so do they have to be applied to your lips and then you kiss the wall,
yes.
or can you can't just write on the wall with it? You can't just write
it needs the warmth of your lips to activate.
Oh, okay. What if you just put it on your arm? Does it have to be your lips?
It has to be your lips.
Okay.
We'll say that the carbon dioxide from you breathing also activates it. Just let it happen, Aaron.
Okay. That works. Hey,
thanks, Apocalypse.
Okay. We're back?
We're back.
Okay. Shit, man.
It's your turn.
Well, this one's really pushing it. Bejeweled 3.
No, that's a good one.
Yeah, that's good.
That's a very good one.
I have it on my phone. It's on Game Pass. It's just a game I can just play like mindlessly. Just shut my brain the hell off and just connect gems and like blow shit up or like dig for gold or something. There's like a million different game modes. Yeah, it's just I really love puzzle games and shit like that. Is just so fun to just. There's one mode where it's like in the background it's constantly like building up this meter where it's gonna like freeze the different parts of the board, but if you match gems it'll break that apart and you don't have to worry about it freezing anymore and stuff like that. There's just all sorts of cool ways to play the game, and it's so satisfying to just like match gems and then finally line up like the perfect combo, like 8 gems in like one big block, and then the board just fucking boom, and then you get like one big super gem. Then you match the super gem with more gems, and it's boom times 3, and then like it's so good. I fucking love Bejeweled 3, dude. Not the other ones.
Is Bejeweled? Does it ever have like I've tried finding mobile games in a similar vein, but they always get to the point where it's like, this level's impossible unless you spend money. But Bejeweled 3 was before that time, right? So is it just like playing levels and then you finish them? Or is there a challenge?
Well, I mean, there is a little bit of challenge too. There's ones, there's different modes. Like there's ones where there's like an endless mode where you just match gems over and over and over. But then there's like the story mode, which where, like you said, you have to get like a certain number of matches, and then you move on to the next chapter, and then you basically match gems until you meet the quota, and then move on. And there's just like a billion other modes too. Like there's the ice one. There's one where you like, what is it? You'll dig in the ground by matching gems near the ground and expand the board. And it's, if you get it on mobile, there is no, I think there is a paywall for like having to access other modes, but I haven't spent a dime on it, and I still have a pretty good time with it. Bejeweled Classic is the one you want. Yes.
Sounds good.
Bejeweled 3, good pick. Speaking of video games. No, I was gonna go with the puzzle game, but I want to talk about a different game first. Is that okay, Aaron? Do I have your permission?
Yeah.
Okay. One of my coziest cozy games is Civilization 6. I have played 134 hours of Civilization 6.
Jesus Murphy.
I've never finished a single game.
Oh.
The joy that I get from Civilization is the first eras. When you just first start out and you got your like one settler, your one explorer or whatever, and exploring the world to see what's all out there, to see where everyone's at, building your starting empire and stuff. Once everything gets settled into place and the borders are all set, I could care less at that point. That's not fun to me anymore. I just love the starting a civilization and exploring the randomly generated stuff. I could do that on loop over and over again. I don't know what it is, but I just that's my happy place is those first moments of a fledgling civilization.
That is cool though. I could see that.
Yeah, Minecraft was mentioned earlier, and I similarly kind of only care for the early game. Once you get post scarcity, I'm less interested in it. But that early struggle is very appealing to me.
Yeah. Civilization.
What else, Tommy?
What else? What else about it?
No, like what are your other picks?
Oh, you want me to keep going? Okay.
Okay.
I also enjoyed Picross. Picross is my favorite puzzle game.
Great choice.
Oh, I could play Picross for the rest of my life. I love that there's so many on the Switch. They just keep releasing them. It's the ultimate like turn my brain off and just say numbers in my head while I tap boxes or hit A on boxes. I'm just like 13, so 6, 4 here. Okay, 7, 4, 3. Okay, just for hours on end. I really like the Pokemon Picross on DS. That was the one that connected with me the most because it made pictures of Pokemon, and I was like, "Yay, look at that! I love the little Pokemon."
Hey, it's a polyworld.
Yeah, exactly. Or a Zapdos. The Zapdos one was really tough.
Yeah, Zapdos is cool.
There needs to be more. I need more Picross. I can never have enough Picross. I did not like 3D Picross though, and I know I might be in the minority in that. It just, my brain didn't work the same way. My brain has those processes in place, and trying to make them new for the 3D one just wasn't. My brain didn't like that. It didn't like that. I went back to the 2D Picross.
Picross had him.
Yeah, in the spirit of Bejeweled and Picross, I'm gonna throw Peggle onto the
Ooh, I almost picked that. Yes, that's so good.
Yeah, Peggle is, doesn't even need any introduction. I feel like it took the world by storm a decade ago, and we're all still living in the shadow of Peggle.
Yeah.
the fallout of Peggle.
Yes.
Peggleocalypse.
Yeah,
that's the name for this episode, Peggleocalypse.
Peggle is absolutely perfect audio visual experience of just one more turn with a fun, goofy art style, and then when Ode to Joy starts playing, it's the most euphoric experience in games this side of Vampire Survivors chest animations, which honestly Vampire Survivors should have been making that list as well. putting Vampire Survivors in my honorable mentions, which continues to grow.
Yeah, honestly, for real. I could play that on a rainy day, any fucking day of the week. Both Peggle and Vampire Survivors. Okay, you unlocked a memory for me. So, before I met my wife, I worked for I did customer support for Xbox Live, and there were a good number of older folks that would call in about their Xbox, about like their gold membership or like something went wrong, and like all they had on their Xbox was Netflix and Peggle.
Yeah,
and it's like, yeah, I can see why.
That's all you need.
Yeah, Peggle and Netflix, dude. I mean, it's still weird. You had to have a gold membership to watch Netflix, but I mean, whatever. It's in the past now.
I'm excited to see what my old person game that I get unreasonably attached to is, because everyone has one. I feel like for most people is Wii Sports. I feel old people.
Well, that's good. That's a good way to stay limber as old man Tommy, just doing the Wii boxing and Wii golf and Wii.
Oh, I'm Wii bowling. Nothing but Wii bowling.
Oh, old Aaron will be right there with you.
Old Aaron. I'm gonna show all the old people and be like, watch me ride the rail and hit the hidden button in the back.
Old Aaron and old Tommy, old SouperPod Saga.
Yes. There's nothing I like more than releasing the ball on the back swing and causing everyone to get jump scared. Because inevitably, it's like, the audience is full of like, Voldemort and Walter White just got really startled by a bowling ball not going where it's supposed to be.
I wish they would like scream in terror. They're like, ah!
Yeah.
It's me now, right?
It's you.
Okay. Where am I? Okay. So I'm being so stupid today. Sorry. So my next pick, Sonic Adventure, but wait, I'm talking about the Chao Garden. The Chao Garden.
Oh yeah, of course.
It's the most wholesome, cozy shit on the entire planet. That from right as soon as you enter, like in that music, I guess this is on like the first Sonic Adventure where it's like, and then like the music starts playing and it's like, oh baby, I'm gonna throw these Chao all over the Chaos. I'm gonna throw these fuckers all over the garden, and and you can give them different. I should have started with you. You basically, or you raise these Chao from birth because like they hatch out of eggs, and you basically raise them for different things. Like you'll give them different fruits to enhance different abilities, give them different animals to hold that give them different abilities, and their appearance will kind of slowly change depending on what animals and stuff you give them. And if you treat them badly, they'll become a dark Chao where like their skin turns black and their little halo or their ball will turn into like a little spiky ball. Or if you treat them really well, they'll become like a hero Chao where their ball becomes a halo and their skin turns white. And you can have them take part in different I guess events. Like you can have them race, you can have them do like obstacle courses, you can have them do there's like a little fighting mode where they fight. And in the original Sonic Adventure, it was super duper bare bones, but it was even better in Sonic Adventure 2. And there were like different gardens you can unlock and just all sorts of different cool animals you could give your Chao. Because it starts off with just like bunnies and like elephants and shit, I forget. But then you get more I guess like rarer animals, ones that have way better stat enhancements, like tigers, a fucking dragon, all sorts of cool stuff. And I still to this very day, old man yelling at Cloud, "Hey Sega, bring back the Chao Garden, you sons of bitches!" But they're never gonna do it because they hate me. But
it is wild that there isn't like a mobile only Chao Garden.
I know.
And then normally you're going through the levels and you're collecting coins and stuff, and that's used to put them through college.
Yeah. Yep. And you collect like the animals and shit while you're going through a level as well too. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, animals.
Cool. They need to stop making Sonic games and just make a Chao Garden game.
They do. I've been saying this since we started this podcast. God damn it.
Since day one. I only have one more game on my list, but I can make more if we need to.
No, that was my last one.
Okay, cool. My last pick is going to be a little video game called MLB The Show.
Ooh.
Which is when I tried to think about games that like were my comfort turn brain off. This does not have any cozy aesthetics that you talked about at all, Adam. None. But this was the game that I would come home from school or come home from college or come home from work and just play for like an hour, just sit down and just hit a baseball around endlessly. And I do this weird thing where even though there's announcers in the game, I do my own announcing out loud. I've done it since I was a kid. I don't know why, but it's just something I do with all my sports games. And there's MLB The Show just has that feedback loop where I go into a game, I see the pitcher and I try and hit real good, and then it gives me the experience bar, and then my stuff gets better. And I'm like, yeah, I'm so good at baseball. It's great. Yeah. And it's gotten worse and worse as the years have gone on, unfortunately, that series. But thinking back to the old ones, just from college and high school and stuff, those were great times, just chilling and playing baseball.
That is cool. Yeah. I only know about them because you talk about them, but it is unfortunate that they've severely declined in quality.
Oofta.
The second what he said. I messed that up so bad.
Adam, take us home, please.
Sure. My next game is going to be kind of in the Professor Layton category. Have you played Later Alligator?
I've heard of it. I want to play it.
It is, again, kind of a just go around, talk to people, and solve some puzzles kind of game, but with a much more pronounced comedy angle to it. I mean, just look up a trailer, look at the art direction. Everything is so stinking cute. Everything is so charming. And then you get to the puzzles. At first, okay, the premise is that you are a little alligator here in Alligator, New York City, baby. That's right, Alligator, New York City.
New York City.
Is that what they say in the game?
Yes.
I'm sorry. I'm watching a trailer, and the name of the bar is just Very Adult Bar.
It's very funny. And yeah, so then you'll be, going down a street and you'll meet a guy, and like everyone in the city is your cousin, and you're in trouble with the mob family, which is your family. And whether or not they're actually engaged in crime is uncertain, frankly. But it doesn't matter, because it's just, it's all charming and it's all a joke. And so you'll bump into someone on the street. It's like, hey, it's me, your cousin. Let's play some 3-card Monty. And so he shows you the queen, and then he shows you the other 2 cards, and then he like shuffles, but he doesn't even bother. He just kind of picks them up and puts them down again. And it's like, find the queen. Guess where the queen is? And then you're like, surely there's some kind of gimmick or goof. No, he's just bad at it.
I need to own this game.
These screenshots, this person's an alligator, excuse me, saying, I don't know what Steam is, but I'm very proud of you. Quote, my therapist.
Yeah. That game is hilarious. Huge recommendation to Later Alligator. One of the best comedy games out there, in my opinion.
Holy cow. I need this.
Alligator, New York City, baby.
Alligator, New York City, baby.
Thank you for this.
I need to, I'm gonna buy this game.
I'm hungry for an Alligator New York slice.
Gonna take my girl out to the Very Adult Bar. I don't have a New York accent.
No, that was perfect, Tommy.
Yeah. So right up there with like Puzzle Agent as my particular flavor of this puzzle genre.
Excellent. Who has honorable mentions? I know that you said you had some, Adam. I've realized throughout this that I do not play cozy games.
Oh, do I? Are we at the end? Because I got one more on my list.
Give us the one more.
Yep.
The last one is A Short Hike.
Oh yeah. I played that.
I played that too. That's a really good one.
A Short Hike is almost a perfect game to me. It's about an hour long to beat it your first time. But it's sweet. It's absolutely candy colored. Love the art direction. Not entirely dissimilar from A Night in the Woods in that regard. And it's just like, here is a tiny little open world that you can just bum around in and vibe, and the vibes are good. Yeah,
good vibes.
The music is super good too. I fucking love the soundtrack to that game. And what is it? One of my favorite things to do in that game is to just like climb up the tallest hill that I can find, and then just glide around looking for those little golden feathers or whatever, and then
absolutely
collect as many hats as I can.
Yeah,
that's such.
I just enjoyed the cute little world. It was just a nice little bite-sized mountain.
Yeah. Again, like its smallness is a huge selling point to me. Very fond of that game. It is a great choice for just like if you're having a bad day or a weird day, just throw it on and just pal around for a few minutes. Like it's just good vibes.
That's what we got is good vibes here.
You know what? I've got two honorable mentions. Are you ready for the first one, Tommy?
I am.
How about Luck Be a Landlord? That's pretty cozy.
I agree.
Like it's just. Have you ever?
I hesitantly agree.
Have you ever heard of?
I take it too seriously.
Oh, well, I'll take it off the list then.
No. You talk about it. No, this is about you, not me.
Adam, have you ever heard of Luck Be a Landlord?
I have not heard of Luck Be a Landlord. I'm trying to look it up right now.
Okay, so get ready for this. So it's a roguelike deck builder slot machine game. Basically, you move into a new apartment. Your landlord's an asshole. The only way to pay for your rent is by using the money that you win in the slot machine that's in your apartment. And as you spin the reels, you'll collect coins and add new symbols to your reels. And it's. I guess I can see where Tommy's coming from, because like sometimes it does get frustrating when you don't get symbols that like synergize with the ones that you currently have. Like if you have like a million pinatas but you don't get a kid, or if you have like a million bees but you don't have a single fucking hive, or like
I had 7 ores ready to break and I couldn't get a single miner. It was so frustrating.
I saw that. He sent me a screenshot of it in Messenger. I saw it, people. The other honorable mention of mine is Cookie Clicker, because I got it on sale for $1.
Yeah. That's such a great choice.
Move it up. Put it on the list.
Fun fact.
Take it out on promotion.
Fun fact: my laptop has a touch screen, so if I just tap my thumbs on the screen like one after the other, I can rack up a lot of cookies really fast. And I'll just leave it on in the background while I'm working and make like a bajillion cookies. And sometimes I'll let my 2-year-old tap on the screen to click more cookies, and I'll buy more factories and grandmas. And you can't go wrong with Cookie Clicker. It's just stupid fun.
Yes.
Good choice.
Adam, what are your honorable mentions?
I've got 6.
Good. Can I claim 3 of them after you read them?
Yes.
Perfect.
My 6 are, and these are games that I've all played, but like my wife has been behind the controller for the majority of the playtime.
Okay.
So that's why it's on my honorable mentions list rather than my primary list. But obviously, you cannot talk about this topic and not bring up Stardew Valley. It's just a given.
Oh, that's a given. Yeah.
Similarly, if you're just like, hey, I would like Stardew Valley, but I would like to ugly cry at the end, then Spiritfarer has you covered.
Oh yeah, I forgot about Spiritfarer. Yeah.
Yeah. Spiritfarer is a lovely hand-animated 2D game with immaculate art direction. And again, it's got that cozy treadmill loop of resource collection and management and upgrade. But it is about ferrying souls to the afterlife. And it is sweet and heartbreaking in turn. Next, we've got Cult of the Lamb, which is a game that I'm actually like a little bit mid on. Like, it's okay. It's pretty good. It's not my favorite thing in the world, but it is a really good hangout game. It's just a good like space to vibe in. So I do appreciate that. And it's got that slightly spooky thing, which I appreciate. So great.
I agree. I wasn't a big fan of like the combat and dungeon crawling because it's just super basic and kind of
Yeah,
but like the cult management and like building new things and discovering new things to build. That was pretty fun. I spent more time in that than I did like the dungeon crawling.
Mm-hmm. My next honorable mention is Slime Rancher.
Ooh, that's a good one too.
Yeah. So that is a game with the cozy treadmill, but both the resource and the thing that you are managing are the slimes. So you capture slimes in the wild, bring them to these pens. You can crossbreed them and get like weird hybrid slimes, which are real fun. And then you feed the slimes, and then they drop your currency, which is called plorts. And I really love plorts.
It's a good word.
Plorts. Next is Vampire Survivors, which I feel almost doesn't need an introduction. It is a game that is made by someone who used to work on slot machines, and it shows. And yet the person has an absolute adamantine commitment to keeping the game free and accessible and non-predatory, which I find so admirable. And
it's refreshing.
It's great. And also they have made more money than any reasonable person could make in 10 lifetimes from it while being reasonable and non-predatory. Yeah. And so, I mean, that's success to me. Like,
that, yeah,
well
absolutely.
done.
Absolutely. Applaud.
I've got... Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
And then my last on my honorable mentions list is Lil Gator Game.
That's the other one I was looking for. I knew there was another alligator game. Damn.
Lil Gator Game is almost actionably a short hike. It's just a short hike again, but I like a short hike. So that's still pretty good.
I had my last honorable mention is, let me find it again, Railbound, a little puzzle game where you connect you connect train tracks, and the trains will start in different areas. You have to try to find like the best way to get each train car to connect to the train and not like crash into each other or like
it's a little order operations puzzle, it looks like.
Basically, yeah. And it's on mobile too, so if you ever want to obsess over that while you're on a car ride or something, it's Steam, Switch, and mobile. Yeah.
Actually, I've got one more one more honorable mention. You ready for this?
Ready.
I'm ready.
Windows Solitaire.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes, I agree.
For many people, probably like their first cozy game of just like, I'm just going to vibe with this. I don't even care. Doesn't matter if I win or not.
Have you played the current iteration of Windows Solitaire from Microsoft?
Of course not.
Okay. Maybe don't.
Oh no! I don't like that.
It's got a lot of how do I want to describe it? Daily missions, weekly missions. You build up the more you play, the more stars you earn, which gets you better rewards. There's achievements, Xbox achievements, stuff like that.
It's really fascinating how Solitaire is consistently like a reflection of the times.
Yeah, actually.
You know? Yeah, the fact that it's full of like, you know, predatory gamer challenges makes a lot of sense for a modern incarnation of it.
It's almost perfect in a way.
Yeah.
But that's good. That's all the cozy games in the world then, right? We talked about them all. Yeah.
Statistically, yeah.
Yeah. All right. That's good. Well done. Thank you again, Adam. You brought a lot of good picks. I'm very happy we had you on the show, or I don't know what we would have done.
I'm glad I was able to help.
And once again, where can people find you and your podcast and on social media and stuff?
Yeah, don't bother looking for me on social media. It's not worth it. However, you should come listen to Halftone Takes. It is a pretty good show, I think. It is available wherever podcasts are found. And then you can also find my games at boocherry.itch.io. That is boo like ghost, cherry like fruit.
I can almost vouch for your show because, yeah, your co-host is talking about like a lot of people start with a Goofy movie episode and then move on from there, and I love that movie.
Yeah, I think the Goofy movie episode is a good onboarding point.
Yeah.
Aaron, where can people find us if they want more SouperPod Saga?
If they can find us, because we're men of the road, we're always nomading around. You can go to SouperPodSaga.com, find all of our episodes, blog, social medias, and our Patreon. Again, if you like the show and you want to help us out, $4 a month is all we ask.
What are we talking about next week, Aaron?
To keep us back on track, because I keep fucking things up, let's talk about the best spin-off games.
Yes.
And then
that's a good topic.
And then after that, we'll go back to the usual rotation.
I get to pick a topic again.
Yes.
Look forward to that. Thank you again, Adam. Go check out Adam's stuff right now. Thanks for listening. You're all beautiful. You're all wonderful. Bye.
Bye.
So long.